Good afternoon. My name is Christy, and I'm so delighted to welcome you to my channel. Previously, we started a discussion on selfishness, and we said that we're going to give examples later, And in this video, I'd like us to talk about actions that we do, and then we look away as if we just rationalize and look away, pretending not to be acts of selfishness. I want us to dwell on that very much in this video. I know that what will readily come to people's mind is a case of a sibling or a particular member of a family who has bullied every other person out of the inheritance. For instance, the patriarch or the matriarch is passed on, and a particular fellow in the family decides to take over the entire inheritance or chooses to share according to his own whims and caprices, not minding, indeed, ignoring entirely will and the sharing formula that the patriarch or the matriarch already instructed. Yes, that is huge. And that's selfishness indeed, bordering on wickedness. Yes, that's undoubtedly selfishness, greed, wickedness, everything put together. However, I don't want us to look away from what we do. What all of us do, and then we pretend that they are not acts of selfishness. We can go on and on and on, cite several examples of what we do daily, every time, and we pretend they're not acts of selfishness. That's what I want us to dwell on, so that we stop brewing toxicity and negativity, because these things actually form the bedrock of toxicity, negativity. So that's what I want us to dwell on today. And let me start with this example that I have. It's a row of shops, and of course, they do different businesses. There's a particular one, let's call her name Taiwo. She sells drinks in her own shop, and her customers sometimes wait behind to have drinks, not necessarily alcohol, juice, soda, and all that. And then they buy off. She's a wholesaler kind of thing, and then she does retail as well. And then those who stay back to have their drinks, you find them spill over the space of her neighbor's shop. They stand in front of her neighbor's shop, they crowd her neighbor's entrance out. Customers or passersby may not even recognize that there's another shop next to this Taiwo's own, because her customers, the ones drinking, would have crowded everything out. And then Taiwo will pretend that she doesn't know. Instead of her to redirect her customers so that they do not block the entrance of her neighbor's shop, she will pretend as if everything was normal, everything was okay. That for me is selfishness. In fact, there's a thin line between selfishness and wickedness. Taiwo is being selfish and she's not being kind. She's wicked. She is wicked. Yes, but you find that happening everywhere. And if that neighbor is a quiet type, she doesn't want anything to degenerate into a brawl, you find that she's just suffering in silence. But that doesn't cancel the fact that Taiwo is wicked and she's selfish. Yes, that's one. Another one is a market space, big markets, and then, in these our markets, especially in my own part of the world, they are arranged in rows. Shops are arranged in rows, one row after the other one. And there's this particular person, she sells, I think she has boutique and a big shop like that. She decided to put a generator so that she would secure electricity every time she opens for business. So she brought in one giant generator, thereby blocking the access route by 95%. Giant generator, she put it there, because she wanted light every time she opened for business. So she installed that generator, thereby blocking at least 35% of the access route to the shops after her, behind her. And by so doing, the sales of those ones, the shops after that generator dropped drastically because customers, one, thought the route had ended by that generator, one. The second one, customers do not want to go through the stress of rubbing themselves against the generator because you want to buy something from some shops when they're not the only ones selling. Those ones complained and complained and complained, but this woman, shaking out, would not just budge. She just ignored them. For me, that is selfishness and that is wickedness. Being selfish. You are being selfish. I don't know, you could have done something other than put the livelihood, some source of livelihood of others at risk. For me, it is selfishness. Yes, another one. You are in a gathering and then seated in rows, and then they decided to serve bottled water, table water, bottled water, and then the person serving standing at the edge, so that as she passes the bottled water, you pass it to the next person, and then it gets to your turn, you hold it and drop it, securing it for yourself. So the next one, you passed to the next person. Why? You want to secure bottled water because if it finishes, you will be the one. You will be the one that will not have one. What is in bottled water? Something you can get off the shelf without blinking an eye. Why? For me, that is selfishness. It is wrath. You're not being decent. And you find this happening around every time. You're passing food, you are holding it down for yourself, and then you pass the next one. So it doesn't finish before it gets to you. For me, it is selfishness. I think we should act decently. Yes. And then another one, and we can go on and on and on and on talking about these acts of selfishness that we often rationalize or pretend that they are not. Another one, yes, it's a block of flats, a block of flats. And then you are the one that would have events every other month. You have events every other month. Anytime you do this, you crowd everybody out because you use the space, the premises for your event, and you will not finish that event until very late at night. Every other neighbor would have to park on the street, anywhere. It doesn't matter. It's not your business. And you do this every other week. That for me is selfishness. You're highly insensitive and you're not being fair. You should take your events outside the premises so that people can live their lives peacefully. Apartments, these are homes to these people. And a home is a place of succor, a place of refuge, a place of where you shut yourself out from the crisis outside, from the chaos outside. You not get to your home and you are being harassed by a neighbor who is insensitive, who is selfish. I think you should have a rethink. Take your events outside the premises. Get a hall, get a space outside the premises so that you allow your neighbors know I enjoy peace. Yes, still talking about a block of flats. You get up every morning for work or for whatever, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. That's early. And then you are there honking on your horn to get the attention of the gate man to open the gate for you. This is unfair. You're waking up everybody. Why? Everybody's timetable should not be aligned to your own timetable. You are being selfish and you're not being fair. Yes, you should have a rethink. You should have a rethink. Maybe you can call your gate man by phone, or you can simply just walk to the shed of the gate man and get his attention to open the gate for you instead of waking up everybody. Think about it. Okay, so we can go on and on and on and on, like I said, and I know that like I said, we rationalize because you know when you're selfish, you know when you're insensitive, and then you begin to rationalize and give excuses. I need to do it. I couldn't have done it otherwise. I know by knowing that you know that you're just deceiving yourself. It's just a cold comfort. You're selfish. That's it. There's no other word, no other description to this. You are just being selfish. So, like I said, we can go on and on and on and on, to talk about this. And please, I want us to be sincere with ourselves. Okay, let me say this one before I close this presentation. Your own signature is you never have smaller denomination to pay for anything that you buy. So the person next to you is in trouble anytime you want to buy anything, even as small as little as apples, oranges. You must take money from whoever that is sitting next to you, or whoever that is standing next to you, or whoever you have gone out with. That person is going to pay the person that will pay for that, whatever it is that you have bought. You're selfish. You never have a smaller denomination. You have not even presented the money to the seller for whatever it is that you bought. You're already asking your friend or whoever it is that has gone out with you to give you smaller denomination to enable you pay. You're very selfish. You're very selfish. Yes. So I hope that each time we're interacting with our friends, our acquaintances, people generally, because in gatherings you may not even know the person seated next to you. We should be very, very cautious and check ourselves and make sure that we're not being selfish. We're not being selfish. It's important because those things, they brew toxicity, whether you like it or not. They brew negativity, whether you like it or not. Because the person at the receiving end is going to hold something against you. Nobody likes to be treated anyhow. If you're insensitive and the person on the receiving end, I'm not sure the person on the receiving end would enjoy that action of your insensitivity, of your being selfish. So please let us pay more attention. Thank you very much for listening to me. Please subscribe to my channel, like, share my videos. Thank you. I hope to see you very soon. If we can, we'll still come back to this topic because it's a topic that is deep and wide, and if we are not mindful, all of us can get enmeshed in this act of selfishness. But if not, then we'll start another topic in my next video. Thank you. Bye.